Hey YouTube, I wanted to put some music behind here, but with the way that they've been clamping down on music, you're just going to have to imagine hearing Indigata Davida behind my video today, because that's the most mushroomy music I could think of. Hey YouTube, I keep getting requests for people to show them how to can mushrooms. We finally ran out, and they went on sale for $1 a box, so I went out and I bought some. First thing you need to do is I decided to chunk up my mushrooms this time. Alright, instead of slicing them neat, because I just want them pretty much rough cut anyhow. What you want to do is you want to cut them up, and then you want to soak them to get any of the dirt off. Okay, you'll see how black this water becomes. Alright, that's actually not dirty. It's from the little seed parts in here. Alright, but that's okay. So I sprinkled it a little bit with fruit fresh so that my mushrooms wouldn't turn funky colors, because they will turn black as they cook. The next thing you want to do is add your mushrooms to some boiling water. Sorry for the steaminess and the bucket getting in the way. I still haven't fixed my overhead light here, so please forgive the poor coloring. And you just want to take and give these guys a little bit of a bubble for about 5 minutes. Okay, and then from here they'll go straight into the cans. You have to blanch your mushrooms in batches. Okay, if you have to process them in batches, make sure that you can get out your batches quickly. I set mine off into a separate bowl where it's going to wait for the rest of this to get done. The mushrooms are done. Okay, the pot's on to heat up. I've got my water boiling for filling this up, and I've got my jar lids soaking. Okay, the next step is filling the jars. Alright, the next step is filling the jars. No, I leave that tag on. Alright, you want to fill up to 1 inch of head space. Alright, that's about where the shoulder is, which is the nice thing about these smaller mouth jars. Alright, and even with the water, we're just going to come up to about there. I'm going to skip the burping process and the actual filling itself, because I think you pretty much know how to do that already. I almost forgot to add. Now, unfortunately, all I have is a 1 teaspoon today. You want to add a ½ a teaspoon. A little more, a little less isn't going to hurt us too much. Okay, a ½ a teaspoon of canning salt. Alright. And about 1/8 of a teaspoon of fruit fresh. It's actually not it. This is easier for me to do when I have 2 hands, because then I can tilt this and get it to stay on the end of my... Okay. Alright, and that just goes right inside, just on the top, before the water. Okay. And then the water goes in, and that kind of helps distribute that around. Alright, and then after that, after the water goes in, then I'll burp it, wipe it, and put the lids on. Alright, I got a lot of mushrooms to do this too. See you in a bit. Okay, I doubt you're going to be able to see this because my lighting is so poor. But you want to vent for 10 minutes. Make sure you get all the air out. You can probably hear it's hissing. That tells me that it's venting. Okay, plus the little bubbles on there. Alright, now according to All-American, that is supposed to be normal, that it bubbles like that around the edge. It always scares me when I see it, but they say it's supposed to be normal. Okay, my pressure rate still reads 0, which means things are okay. The pressure canner. Okay, now I had this stored away for a couple of months, and even though I give it a good thorough wash before I put it away, I still want to check the vent. I just take a toothpick and I run it through, and if it goes through, then I know my vent is cleared. My button is down, it's still nice and rubbery. My gauge is at 0. Now, it hasn't been too long since I've used this. Remember, once a year you want to take your gauge in and get it double checked. Call your extension office or the place where you bought your canner from and check with them. If you have the kind that doesn't have a gauge but has just the weight and the rubber gasket, once a year they really recommend that you change your rubber gasket. Now, this is an American canner, and it has both the pressure and the weight. Now, where I'm at, we're still under 1,000 feet, so I will can at 10 pounds of pressure. Okay, I'm just going to stick this on here for now so I know where it's at. I need to put 3 inches of water in here with some vinegar and get that cooking up, and then I'll show you how to do the mushrooms. Oh, you just heard one go pop. I've got 7 out of the 8 jars that I put in. I had one minor disaster. I've got a flashlight to show you this. I had one jar break in the water. This part is spoiled. All this will have to get washed out, scrubbed down. I'll make sure I got all the glass pieces. Oh, that's too bad. But the real question is, how does this affect the other ones that were in there? Hubby says they should be fine. I'd be interested to hear, because I'll be marking those ones special. So, if you know if the other ones have a problem, please let me know.